Hey YouTube, this is Catherine with the Wright Team in beautiful Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm coming to you again with another Build Real Estate. This one is going to be about how we have bought houses as a family. Randy and I work together as a husband and wife team at Remax Professionals, and but we haven't always been realtors, and so we've actually been on the other side of all of this. And so I wanted to tell you the stories of how all this came together. So a while back in about 2000, and I think it was a 2004 or 5 or something like that. I think it was 2004. We bought our first home. We bought it because a friend told us about it. We looked in the windows. We called the sign. We got the agent who was listing it to sell it to us, and we were super excited. At that time, they had these special lending practices where they were doing 0% interest for a certain time, and then you change it into a regular mortgage, and part of the down payment is going to be like on a credit card. At the time, it made sense, and we were novices, and I would never recommend to do that to anybody else. But it was a really great learning experience because we have been on the other end of bad lending, and we learned that the basis behind that was that they thought everybody would get a raise in a certain amount of time. Every house would gain value in a certain amount of time. At that point, they had historically been in a very strong market for a long period of time. So nobody saw the crash coming. And so everybody thought they were doing right by the consumers. Oddly enough, we were part of the consumers that were not done right by. And we ended up getting into the house and finding out there was some damage that we had not found out about before. It was basically when they had installed the new bathroom, they hadn't actually done it properly. So we had our floors were rotting from underneath, and so that was creating a lot of damage. We ended up having to redo our house. Then when Randy went into the military, I ended up having to do the redo myself as he was training, and that's how I learned about real estate. Was finding out, wow, our market has just shifted. Everything's losing value. We have a really bad loan. We have to sell it, and it has to gain value. If it can't gain value because of what was there before, we have to change the condition. And so I basically did a redo with 2 small children in the house and very little money. And I had a lot of help, and I'm very grateful to the people who helped. And I learned a lot. We got it sold. We only had to bring $1,000 to the table, but we thought, never again, we're not doing it that way. So the next time I was a realtor, Randy was not a realtor, and we looked for the cheapest house possible that was still in a good neighborhood because we're horribly afraid. And we went with one that we thought was a good value, and it's been a great house. It already had some equity. We were very cautious. We used the VA loan. We bought one that we knew we could afford over time, even if everything went wrong. So we were expecting everything to go wrong, which a lot went wrong, but not everything. And so that's how we bought our second house. Loved it. We bought based off of school system, based off of historical value of the neighborhood, based off of the type of loan and loan payment we wanted. This is more how I would recommend that you go. I, of course, represented us, and we were able to get through it. It was really good. So the next time we bought a house, both of us are agents. And so Randy is the buyer's agent, and we always recommend the buyer's agent. He'd be buyer's agent. If we're working with both sides, he is the buyer's agent, and I'm the seller's agent. That way, both have an advocate who is just for them. And it makes it easier that way. And that's one of the things we learned with the first house when we were working with the listing agent is it was difficult for her to be our advocate. And so we recommend when we do this, one of the reasons you'll see Randy's buyer's agent, I'm the listing agent, and we try to stick in our roles because we think it's best to have an advocate on both sides. So this time Randy was seeing all these great deals in the market that he's been showing a ton of houses. And so he started telling me about some of the great deals and started showing me the houses because a lot of the ones that he thought people should be taking off the market, they should be putting contracts in, they weren't. And so he started showing me which ones he was talking about, and he was 100% right. And so this time we bought a house based off of equity, based off of how our family is, based off of what we're doing now. And so that has been, it's been great because both of us are on the same page. And so I really do recommend making sure that you talk as a couple and that you're on the same page. And that was a really great part of this purchase. And then with the other part of the purchases that I think really went well was understanding your loans. Once we started really understanding about loans and how they work, that really made it go smoother. Understanding the settlement statement, the just all the little stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's good that you really delve in and start understanding your choices are in the process of buying a home. So again, this is Catherine Wright with Remax Professionals. My husband is Randy Wright. He's the buyer's agent, and I'm the listing agent. At lawton-home.com. Again, we're in beautiful Lawton, Oklahoma. Bye, y'all.